welcome to the 12 days of Christmas. This is the Quantum Christmas Extravaganza, darling. And what we're going to be doing is over the next couple of days, we're just going to be chilling and talking about what it takes to leave the old us behind and create the new us, the life we want, the desires of our hearts, and the success we want, all the things that we want in 2020 and in this new decade. Because hello, honey, we're closing off a decade and we're ready to slay this the 2020s. So the point of this video and this series is just to help you, and we're going to be doing some activities together just to help you to really get clarity on what needs to happen for you in 2020 so it is the best year of your life and it is the most fulfilling year of your life. So the first day, today's day one of the Quantum Christmas Extravaganza, and the reason I'm calling it quantum is because we're like quantum leaping, quantum jumping, folding time, collapsing time. So we're gonna take all the things that we think that we didn't get to do in this past decade, and we're gonna say, okay, how can we fast track ourselves accomplishing it in as quick time as possible with joy and ease and fun. That's very important. So day one, what I really was downloading and channeling and tuning into what you guys needed to hear today for day one, I got that it was all about understanding who you really are. Now, when I say understanding who you really are, I'm not just talking about as a soul level. So if you follow my work, you know I love to talk about the soul path and your soul print and like who you are at a soul level, because we are all, excuse me, oops. Because we're all souls. We're, you know, the scripture says like, God blew the breath of life into man and man became a living soul. So we are literally pieces of God's breath walking around in a human form. Like that is who we are at a soul level. But one of the things I want you to realize is when you're going to be planning out your success or preparing yourself for success, it's not one, that understanding is important to understand who you are at a soul level, but it's very important to understand who you are in the 3D realm as well, because you're living in this emanation and in this time and in this dimensions, sphere, hemisphere, like you're here now. And so you also have to understand who you are in the here and now. And there's so many times and I see this a lot with my clients, because you guys know I'm a reinvention strategist and I help entrepreneurs to pivot and influencers to pivot and become captivating and compelling and all that good stuff and magnetic and seductive and all that juice, right? And what I see a lot of times is you come into the industry and maybe you created your business based on what you saw as a status quo. So if everybody's taking photo shoots in a certain place, you felt like that was the standard for success. If everybody had a certain type of branding, you kind of felt like, oh my God, this is what I need to do to be successful because they're successful, so I want to be successful. And the problem with that is when we are building our business based on trends, or you're following your goals or setting your goals based on what everyone else is doing, you play small. You literally play small, because within your soul there's an expression that needs to come out. There's something that needs to be put into the world, and when you put that out into the world, what tends to happen is that is what makes you the most money, the less effort, the less work, most fun, most bliss, most joy, no comparison, no feeling insecure, no second guessing yourself. Like you don't have to try to sell, it just sells because it's so compelling and captivating. So the first step is really understanding who you are. And so what I want you to do is I want you to take out your paper and your pen, and I want you to really write out, for me now, I want you to write out when you were younger, like age 5, age 6, like before you became a fearful human being, what were the things that you enjoyed doing? Maybe you like to perform, maybe you love to be the center of attention, maybe it was that you like to draw and do artistic things, maybe you were the one always teaching, pretending to be a teacher. I want you to actually go back and think about who you were at that age. And then I want you to acknowledge what those gifts were, because the truth is, those things are clues as to how you're meant to serve and show up now in this time and space. So for example, for me as a kid, I loved, honestly, like I would take my shirt and I would roll it up and make like little belly skin and like fold up my skirt and like posing and like trying to be cute and always. And I remember I would steal my aunt's lipstick, her red lipstick, I would steal it. I would go over to my godmother's house and I would steal my godsister's nail polish. And everything for me was just like beauty, right? It was like, oh my God. But then I was also very bossy. So they used to call me the ring leader. I was the shortest, I was the youngest, but I was the boss. I was like, you sit over here, you go here. Like, high key, I was also a little mean girl, because like if somebody upset me, I'd be like, all right, you don't talk to her because she's not with us anymore, right? And even though you're like, how does that even have anything to do with your calling and your purpose and your mission and you slaying 2020 and the 2020s? Well, here's the thing, darling. That inner confidence and leadership, like that's a part of what I do and who I am. Like, and it's not something to be afraid of or ashamed of or bash, because a lot of times we see aspects of ourselves, and because it's not the pretty polished way everyone expects us to be, we kind of downplay that side of ourselves. But the truth is, when I incorporate that side into my business, my clients actually get greater results, because instead of me watching them, for example, it's not me bossing them around like like a 5-year-old would do. But when I see my client, for example, slacking off, or maybe they're getting into their own head around their fear, if I didn't have that within me, I would not call them out unapologetically. I would be like, oh my God, I don't want to step on their toes. But I know they hired me to guide them and to support them. And so I'm like, hey girl, you said you were going to do this thing. What's going on here? And I can call people out, and I kick, my clients will say like, I'm a butt kicker. And it's because I do have that aspect within me. So everything that you were doing as a child, I also, when I was younger, people used to say like, oh my God, this girl can talk. Yes, I'm a talker. And so for me, making videos, like talking, anything where I get to talk, being on stage, hosting my own live events, these kind of things help me to just express. And, I just want you to see that when you realize that you don't have to do it the way your mentor does it, you don't have to do it the way coaches in the industry are doing it. And when you do it this way, you have a more sustainable business, because you're not going to get burnt out. You're not going to get frustrated. You're not going to be stressed, because every day is literally you just being you. Like, I know it sounds so cliche to say like, just be yourself. But it really is true that when you understand what you do and like who you are at a soul level, yes, in terms of your calling and your mission and who you're meant to serve, but it's also important that you understand who you are as a three-dimensional being, because that personality and that persona that you developed from childhood is what can actually help you to really soar and skyrocket, instead of feeling like you need to be like everyone else. So let's say maybe you see everybody doing a podcast, and then you're like, I just want to make videos, or I want to write. You have to know yourself. And the Greeks say like, know thyself. And the reason they say that is because it really is step one to having a happy life, a successful life. And I know there are many people who make lots of money and they do it in a way that like they don't know themselves. They're just grinding and hustling out for the cash. If you just want the cash, then this is probably not the video for you. If you want to be actually fulfilled and happy and actually have the money as an additive to your overall well-being of your life, that is just like lit up, happy, amazing, then this video, obviously, you're in the right place. So that's my thing for you. What I want you to do now is leave a comment below and tell me what were some of the characteristics that you had as a kid that you know that the millionaire and the multi-millionaire and the billionaire version of you incorporates that. What are those characteristics? And I want you to comment and leave them in the comments below so I know. And for those of you who maybe are saying, well, when I was younger, I was shy, I was this, I was that. Don't watch the labels that people would put on you. I want you to look at it from your perspective of what you enjoyed to do. So for example, people would tell me that I was a talker and I talk too much, right? And I was, oh my God, you're so extra. But guess what? That is me now. I'm over the top extra with everything I do because it's fun and it's me, right? And so I want you to think about like, what did you enjoy doing? So maybe they were saying, oh my God, you were so shy, but maybe you really loved observing people, psychoanalyzing people. Maybe you love doing art. Maybe you were somebody who would paint and create art. And I want you to look at like, how were you really coming alive, and just allow yourself to see how you can incorporate that into your business and in your life now. So that's day one of this Quantum Christmas Extravaganza. We are going to be doing, like I said, 12 days. Day 1 to 9 is actually me giving you different steps, and then on day 10, 11, 12, we'll be just celebrating, because it'll be Christmas Eve, it'll be Christmas Day, and of course I'll be taking any questions that you have, doing any Q&A. So leave your comments, but also leave your questions too, because then I'll answer them on day 10, 11, and 12. Yay! Okay, so love you so much, and remember that like we're closing off a decade. If you're watching this video, it just means that your soul called you to be here, and the first step is to understand who you are, yes, as a soul, but who you are in the 3D. So for me, it's being a teacher, being a talker, being a creator, being over the top and extra, and bringing out the over the top and extraness in others, and allowing them to be seen and be visible and all that stuff, and acknowledge themselves, and you know, the good stuff. So I can't wait to see in the comments what your thing is. Ooh. And then I can't wait to comment and reply and chat to you in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you in day 2. Bye.